How everybody doing? Hope you're making it happen for yourself. I was trying to find me some other glasses. My stuff is somewhere. I was trying to get my glasses in order. You know, um, that's what I was trying to do. And then I realized that it was noon. Who in here? Say hey to me. Who's in here? Yeah, I was trying to get my glasses together in case I need my spectacles. Right? There's all these lights sometimes get on my nerves. Anyway, how you doing? What's going on with y'all out in the world today? We're going to continue to talk about gaslighting and how you deal with it, how you respond to gaslighters. How you respond to gaslighters is what we talking about today, right? This is my glasses. I don't know how to clean glasses. I never knew how to clean windows. People, with paper and Windex. I never knew how to clean it. I could never get it right. It always be streaked up. I just could never get it right. And I can't clean my glasses right either. I never get it right. But anyway, let me get to my notes. Yeah, I could never clean glass. Who in here? Say hey to me. Hey, two people's in here. What's going on? Two people say hi. Let me know who it is. We talking about how do you deal with the gaslighter, aka the narcissist. That's a narcissist trait, right? Narcissists operate off of ego. They care. They really, really care about what people think. They're very insecure. Now, they may appear to be strong and all these other things, but they're very insecure people. They're like a child in an adult body, right? They're like a child in an adult body. And they always seek validation and attention. And if they can, and they prefer, to me, they prefer negative attention. I got to Google that. But it seems like they prefer negative attention, right? They like it. It doesn't bother them. I should say that. Um, they will make you feel like you are delusional and you are crazy and like you've lost your mind, right? That's the rabbit hole they want you to go down, right? They're the victim. They're never wrong. Never ever ever. Never ever ever. And so I got some examples of how to deal with a gaslighter, but in my opinion, run. If you know what you know, run, right? Because they're not rational people. So you're never going to get any, that's what drives you crazy. You're never going to get any rationality out of them. Never. You're never going to get any rationality out of them at all. And you wonder what you thinking, well, they talk so good and they know this and they know that. You're never going to get rationality out of them. Never. So here are some 8 tips for responding back to gaslighters and trying to taking back your control, because that's what it is. You have lost control of everything, right? Hey, Queen, you've lost control of your mind and all of that, right? Probably your body and your soul, depending on how long you've been there with them and what all has happened, right? Um, so first, it says 8 tips for responding and taking back control. Now, I took back control, and I'll tell you how I did that. But I took it back control because I remember my mother told me, you didn't gave him all your power. And I had to sit down and think about that for a minute. Like, I didn't give him no power. That's the first thought. Like, what you mean? What you saying? But it's true, right? So first, they say make sure it's gaslighting, because some people just don't mean they're a narcissist, don't mean they're gaslighting. They may be saying something unintentional and not purposely trying to mess you up. They may just be saying what they're saying, right? Number 2 is take some space from the situation, which is one way I gained control. Even though we were in the same household, I avoided him. I didn't go anywhere with him. Stopped going places together. I avoided him, and I avoided confrontation. You got to have your space. You need it to think, because they will have your mind so fogged up. Even in the beginning with the love bombing, your mind is so fogged up because they're doing all these wonderful things for you, right? Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to do. It's hard to do. Queen says she's having a hard. She had problems figuring those things out. It's hard to do. It is hard to do. But like I said, I knew nothing about it until it was over with, and I thank God, right? But I was in it too long. Um, but you have to you have to distance yourself if it's at all possible, right? And I get a lot of comments from ladies saying, "Hey, Lisa Marie." I get a lot of comments from ladies saying they've been in it 7 years, they don't know what to do, they've been in it 10. And I am not a professional, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a psychoanalyst, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not none of those things. But I want to tell them, and I never would advocate for somebody to leave their husband. That ain't my place to do that. But I be wanting to tell them, get the fuck out, run, right? Uh, you know, pray and run. Shit. That's what you do. You run if you can, but everybody's not capable of leaving a situation. So then, therefore, you got to pray. Rely on your family and friends. Like seek therapy. So you can build yourself up and get strong and stuff, right? But I be feeling sorry for ladies in my comments who say they're in it, they don't know what to do. Like I feel responsible. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to put the wrong information out because I am not. I'm just talking about my experiences and I'm reading and I'm learning along with you all from what the experts say. I don't want to tell anybody, girl, leave that man, or girl, go get your brother and them beat him up. I don't want to tell nobody nothing like that, right? But it's best to distance yourself, stay far, far away, and stay far away. You cannot have, in my opinion, if you don't know what you're doing, you can't have no contact with them. Once you leave them, don't have no contact. I don't care if they the father, your kids, or your grandma. I don't know what you can't have no contact for your well-being and your self-care and your mind. Hey, Nick, you can't have no contact with them people. I'm sorry, you just can't. If you got kids by them, that's something you got to figure out. Get somebody to help you drop them off and pick them back up or whatever. If you're co-parenting, get somebody to help you. Get somebody to help you and intervene with that. I used to try and figure things out about my significant other. I used to blame myself. Now I see what the issue was. I'm telling you, hey, Kate, it was. It was. It was. It probably was. I'm pretty sure it was, Queen. That's why I'm doing this. I don't get discouraged because it's 5 people, 6 people, 10 people. Because somebody, if it ain't but one person, like my pastor said, if you don't help but one person, you done did enough, right? Because this thing, so when I was younger, I was more harder to corral, So I probably wouldn't have even been in a relationship like that younger. But hey, India, but it's life altering, right? It's life altering. It really is. It's life altering. Uh, that's all I can say. It's life altering. So here I go. The eight tips. So now they say make sure it's gaslighting. Then the next thing is to take some space from the situation, which I was talking about. If it's possible, take space. Whatever that look like. If you live in the house with them, go in the room and close the door. Stay in there for days. Whatever it is, get away from them. Now what I do know with my ex, I don't know about all of them, but my ex, he could not stand, and probably all of them because they like attention. He could not stand when I ignored him. That would drive him crazy. And once I figured that out, I was like, ooh, well, this is what I'm going to do. That was a way of, somebody asked me yesterday, was I being petty or something? Yes, absolutely I was. Absolutely was. Took thrills in it. Yes, I was. Right? Because he couldn't stand to be ignored. Could not stand to be ignored. That's that attention. They like attention and validation at all times. So when I shut down and didn't talk, fucked him up. How would I know if I'm a narcissist? I I I don't know how you would know. What I would do is do your research and see what are the signs. You can just Google tell you anything. Google tell you how many times a day you need to pee. Who all peed today? What you might think is stupid or simple. Google has the answer for it, right? So if you think you're a narcissist, Google, how do I know if I'm a narcissist? And then it'll give you the signs or the symptoms or whatever. You know. Uh, I don't want you to think though because you was with one. Yeah, I love Google too. I don't want you to think because you was with one that you won. Because I get comments from dudes. I'm sure they're dudes. I get comments from dudes all the time that say in my shorts and in my in the comments that say in the chat. I mean that will say on the replay in the chat they'll say you always talking about narcissists. You the narcissist. Anybody talk about all the time. That means that's who you are. Stuff like that. I don't let that phase me because you gotta have a really, 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 really tough skin to do put yourself out there on social media. Period. You gotta have tough skin because there's people coming. They coming for you, right? Now it don't even phase me. And I was thinking the other day, I was like, this people leave comments and stuff. Y'all don't probably see them. because I always remove them as soon as I see them. And it don't faze me at all. Not at all. It don't faze me, right? I said, I knew I had a tough skin, but it didn't got tougher fooling with YouTube. Because if you let it sit in your head what people say, then they won, right? They won. Because you have a path. You have a path, and people will try to alter your path, right? And that's what narcissists do. They try to alter your path, right? So I say it says take space, and that's what you need to do. Even if y'all live together, go in your room and close the door. Go down in the basement. Go in the attic. Go on the porch. Get space because it's they're full of toxicity. And like I said, in my case, and I believe in all narcissist case, they like chaos. They thrive in chaos. They like chaos, right? Then here it says collect evidence. Now, I wasn't purposely walking around collecting evidence, but I did see some things. Like I told you, I saw a picture that I know what I know, what I know, right? And looked them right in his face and asked the questions, and they told a lie. So that'll help you. I guess the evidence is for you to know that you really know what you're saying and thinking is to be true. I know men is perfect. I just want to be the one messing up. You're probably not, child. You're probably not because you're conscious of it. You're conscious of it. You're conscious of what you're doing in your actions. And when you're conscious of your actions, you're trying to be the best you can be. At least that's how I take it. Because that's how I am. I try to be conscious of what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm human and sometimes shit happens and then you may snap or something. But for the most part, I try to be conscious and I try to be careful on what I say and who I say it to. Right? Now here it says, after you collect evidence, speak up about the behavior. Now you can speak up about the behavior, but it's probably not going to do anything. And if you're not strong, it's going to confuse you even further. Queen says, I know I'm a loving, caring, spiritual, and open woman. I don't think... Yeah, well, see, there you go. You answered it for yourself. You answered it for yourself. Because if you were a narcissist, the things I'm saying would because they're demonic, would frustrate you. And you would act out. Speak up about the behavior. Remain confident. See, because they're going to try to twist you up. It says remain confident in your version of events, right? So you have to know. That's why I guess they say pick up the, look for evidence, collect evidence. They say, so that you know what you're talking about, right? Because what they do, I'm telling you, when it first started happening, and I think when he first started, really truly, mind fucking me, might have been the second year. Right, but I was I was still in the bubble, right? I was still in the bubble. I probably was in the bubble 3-4 years. I didn't realize a lot of these things at first, because he clouded and cloaked it with things and places and stuff, material stuff. But I'm a material girl, so I was a good pick. That's okay. I was a good candidate for what he was trying to do. I was a good supply until I wasn't, right? Uh, Remain confident. Oh, I said that already. Okay, focus on self-care. Now, listen, this is what I did, y'all. Didn't know. See, I did all this and didn't know that I was doing the right thing, but I knew this is what I needed to do for him, not knowing he was a narcissist. So it says focus on self-care. So what I started doing, I got more into my spirituality, got more into me. This period just got more into me, right? And seeing to myself, because he ain't, right? So I got more into seeing about myself, my mind, my body, and my soul. That's what I focus on. That's when I stopped, right after him, or right at the end of the relationship, I stopped eating beef and pork. I started exercising more. Got me a membership. I just started paying more attention to myself. I just started paying more attention to myself. I always got my nails and hair and all that stuff done. But I started paying more attention to my body and my mind, right? I was trying to build up my spirituality, get my mind right, and stay health conscious. You know what I'm saying? Because they will distract you. I remember when I first started really, really with my spirituality, he would always distract me from that. And when I realized what it was, I was like, Because at first I let it happen. Oh, you want to go do this, you want to go do that. Then I realized you trying to keep me from doing what I want to do. I stopped that, right? And here it says involve others. Now, this is what I did not do. But I think if you're weak or if you're not as strong or if you're having problems, you should involve somebody. Your sister, your mama, your daddy, a good girlfriend, your pastor, um, a therapist, somebody that can help you and somebody that you can talk to. That I didn't do that because I didn't know it was as bad as it was, really. So I didn't do that, not really. I kept it all to myself. Whatever was going on, I kept to myself. How do you change your aura? I used to be trying to figure that out a long time ago. How do you change your aura? I'm not going to carry my wounded younger self around. I want to check it. Now listen, let you say this. Let me read this again. Let me read this. It says, Queen says, I'm changing my aura. I'm not going to carry my wounded younger self around. I don't want to attract a narcissist. So let me say this. Let me break this down into 2 or 3 parts because I never knew about your younger self till last year or so when I was in Atlanta, right? And I had a girlfriend that would tell me about that. Then I started reading on that because my friend told me, and so did the therapist that I had, that Jackie's fine. It was little Jackie that's damaged, and that's the one that comes out that people see when I'm hurt, right? And I never had thought about that. But I've been doing some reading on that, and a lot of people talk about their younger self, right? Because the younger self, 9 times out of 10, is who's the damaged, who's or has the most damage, right? Um, and so when you damage, now she said attract the narcissist. When you're damaged, this is what I think. Yeah, I know I do psychology on the side, but I ain't got no degree. Is when you damage people that are seeking, there are people that are seeking damaged people. Now, how they know? I don't know if they got a radar, if it's internal, I don't know, right? And maybe after they have a conversation or so with you, you can try to figure it out or something, right? And I hate to think that I come off as damaged. That bothers me. Like when I meet a man, my conversation makes them think that I'm damaged, right? And they can, I'm needy and they can control and manipulate me. I hope that I don't want to be giving off that vibe. But I used to say years ago that I wanted to cleanse my aura. Now I don't know how you do that. Matter of fact, I might Google that. I don't know how you do that, but I used to think that all the time because I kept having bad luck, and I was like, what the fuck must I do, right? By praying, being a whole person, being confident, and loving myself unconditionally. Oh, and I did that. Being confident and loving. I did that. Do y'all know something? I don't think I started loving myself to the like for real, to the shit a few years ago or something. I just always hear people say that, and I didn't really quite get an understanding. Like, shit, don't you love yourself? But it's deeper than that. So that's how you do it. Praying, being a whole person, being confident, and loving yourself unconditionally. Because I'm in love with myself now, and I was never like this before, right? Not just the way I feel about myself now. Let me read. So, how do you cleanse your aura? I never thought to Google that. That used to worry me to death in the 90s, especially. How do you cleanse your aura? And then I thought that I was cursed. You know, now I do know now that it's generational cursing. How to cleanse your aura by applying simple remedies. Meditation. I've been trying to do that sometime off and on. Crystal healing. I bought me some crystals. I bought some crystals when I bought crystals when I first moved down to Charlotte. Positive affirmation, sound healing. I never did sound healing. Have y'all ever did a sound bath? I seen it on TV. Sunlight exposure. That's why I moved down south. Deep breathing. I never did that. And mantra chanting. I haven't done that either, but I'm aware of it. And it says take a salt bath. I haven't ordered it yet. It's in my bag. It's in my basket for my birthday. My friend here it's a big tub of, like we use Epsom salt. This was sea salt, right? Himalayan sea salt or something, right? And I took, when I first started working at Amazon, because I hadn't did that kind of work, and I took a bath in that a couple times. It is so soothing and so much, not that Epsom salt is bad, because I use Epsom salt, but this sea salt and this Himalayan salt was the bomb. So if y'all want to get me some, it's in my basket in Amazon. Uh, India says, yes, it goes deep because if you love yourself, truly, certain things just won't be allowed. Even down to the things you consume, you will be the priority in any situation. Oh, wow. That's true. And then Queen says, and grounding. Now, I ain't never heard of grounding until I moved to Atlanta. A lot of this stuff I never heard of until I had a girlfriend that started. I never had heard of grounding either, right? I had never heard of that. That deep side of spirituality, because in my mind, spirituality is reading your Bible, praising God, and being good or something. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I didn't know about any of those other things. I heard, but I didn't really know. I had never really heard of grounding until last year. So, okay. Okay. That's how you cleanse your aura. Let me say this. I do these things, but not on a regular. Like I bought the crystals. I was into the crystals for a moment, then I got on something else. Um, but I have them, and I used to keep a bag of crystals in my car for safety and all that stuff. And I had some on my nightstand, by my bed. Different crystals mean different things, right? But it's a lot to remember. It's a lot. Positive affirmation. Positive affirmation. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. I like that. So that's how you cleanse your. I'm telling you, in the 90s, I could not understand. I was like, why every time I do this, this happened? I could not figure that shit out. And I was like, I need to. How do you? Is it a such thing as cleansing your aura? I take us back to when we were children and was barefoot and running outside, sitting on the grass in nature. Yeah, and that's what people say they like to be in the grass. The grounding is in the grass and walking barefoot and stuff like that. Hmm. Thanks for that. Thanks for that. Yeah, thanks for that. Um, okay, let me go back to where I was. See, because that's a whole other level of spirituality, chakras and all that stuff. That's a whole nother level. Um, hold on. That's a whole nother level with gaslighters. I would hate to have had a mother or a job and it was those people there. I love nature. Yeah, you're right. We wasn't sickly. It was something that somebody put on, and we used to take, and I had forgot all about it. I can't even think of what it was now. Um, uh, what was that? It was a liquid that we used to take. Not castor oil. It was something else. And what exactly was castor oil for? What is the initial use of castor oil? Yeah, because we played outside. Kids don't know how to play outside now. Oh, that's the ambulance. Kids don't know how to play outside now. They just really don't. I watched my daughter's friend come over to my house, and she had kids, and they didn't know how to play outside, and my grandson didn't either. I was like, y'all go play. They kept sitting there looking at us. Cleaning out your intestines. So I bought me some prune juice and some apple juice. That's a concoction that I would drink. Um, and then I thought about going to the health store and getting one to clean it from up here, up top, right? Um, and I probably still will. And so the last thing they say to do when you're dealing with a gaslighter is seek professional support. Seek professional support. I say run, but if you're not able to run, then get somebody to talk to, preferably a couple people. I would say a few people to talk to. Your spiritual advisor, whether that's your pastor, your rabbi, your whoever, right? Yeah, they are very different. I didn't know that. I'm telling you, I didn't know that until my daughter's friend came over and she had two kids, a boy and a girl, and my grandson. And they were just sitting there. And we was on the porch, like, go play. They was looking confused, like, what we do, right? I was like, they don't know how to play. And I realized after that, the kids don't know how to play. Children play, yeah. Look at video games, yep, yep. And my grandson ate a lot of sweets. A lot of kids eat a lot of sweets, um, and ramen noodles. But you need a few people to talk to when you're in this situation. You would need your spiritual advisor, whoever that may be, somebody close, girlfriend, mama, grandmama, auntie, somebody with some wisdom, and then you need and somebody's not going to judge you too, and then you need the therapist or whoever, a professional, somebody with some alphabets behind their name, right? But you got to be around somebody that's not going to judge you, because when people judge you, they put you further in the hole. So like if I tell somebody, girl, he did this, this, and this, and then you be looking like, what? You let that? You let him do that? I wouldn't let him do that. You know, you don't need that. You don't need that. You don't need that. They don't want their children to get dirty. I know that's stupid. That's what my daughter just said. They don't want to get. They kids. She said that about the twins. Like they're kids. I didn't get that part. Um, you know, you need somebody that's going to be supportive of you when you're going through these things, right? I didn't know how to describe what I was going through, so I suffered in silence, right? Because I didn't know what it was, what you say, right? But if you're aware of it, if you're aware of it, I would not. I'm still self therapying myself in my mature age. Yeah, me too. It's okay. And learning and evolution never ends, in my opinion, especially now that I have matured. Um, you constantly learn and grow. If you're not, you get stuck. That's what's wrong with a lot of these people now, especially men, black men. They get stuck where they at. They get complacent and they right there. They ain't going no further. And therefore you have a problem. And then you with this stuck person, right? And they want to have a relationship with you, but they stuck. And they stuck. And they ways is over here back in 1979. They antiquated and they thoughts and they everything they do is old, right? And then they want you to be in a relationship with them. So then you get in a relationship with them, and you trying to fit into some shit that don't fit. When you with the wrong person, or you with especially a narcissist, because a narcissist is a chameleon, right? And once they show you who they really are, now you trying to fit into some shit that ain't even there. Ain't even you trying to make a puzzle piece that ain't no puzzle. Ain't nothing there, right? As adult children, they have arrested development. I keep hearing people talk about that arrested development. I think I know somebody that has arrested development. I'm gonna Google that tonight. But yeah, you trying to make something fit that ain't gonna never fit, and that's in my case. I was trying to make something work that was gonna never work because they're not rational. And you wanna, like me, you sit down and wanna have a conversation. You know, we're gonna have a conversation. Let's talk this out. They're unable to do that. Let's pray. They're gonna fake like they praying with you. If you pray, they ain't gonna lead a prayer. My ex never led a prayer. I should have known then. That was a big red flag. He never led a prayer. Never led a prayer. And I guess the devil can't do that, right? There are things that you would think that rational people do. If you with somebody and they can't do rational, regular things, they not to be with. They not to be fooled with. They not to be fooled with, because they're not, you know, and as women, we be like, oh, they're going to change, and I love them, and I seen the good side of them and all that shit, right? You saw what they wanted to show you, and enough to trick you into being in love with them, right? Um, if someone is not, I don't care the age, I don't care how long you've been with them, I don't care who they are. If they're not showing you love and respect, you got to get away from them. I don't care how long it's been. I don't care if you've been in a relationship 40 years. I don't care how long it's been. I know it's hard to break away. I know that. I know that. It's hard to break away. And it could be dangerous for some folks. But I know it's hard to break away. But you got to, right? Or, because if you're not, listen, if you're not, I done been through a lot of shit, so I was able to deal with bruh. But he was still damaging, right? You got to get away from that. You got to get away from that. Or you just sink further and further into a deep hole. This is what I do know too. When you with the wrong partner, or well, if they wrong, if they ain't treating you right, they wrong. So if you with the wrong partner and he's not loving on you the way you need to be loved on, it'll show on your appearance. It'll definitely show in your appearance. I have a friend. I know quite a few ladies like this. I have a friend, and I thought back in the day it was wonderful because they've been together since we was in high school. Okay. You would think after being together that long, he is the greatest thing to you and you are the greatest thing to him, right? Now, I had heard years ago that he was abusive, right? Didn't see it, don't know. I seen them just before I moved here, right? I seen him just before I moved here. I used to park my car at the Rapid, which is the train. We call it the Rapid in Cleveland, and ride to work because my building was right on top of the train station, right, in Terminal Tower. So I would sometimes park my car and ride the rapid. So one day I see this couple. I know them, right? Been knowing them for years. I went to school, elementary, junior high, all that, right? So I said, well, they still together. Matter of fact, I had seen him. He was working at the corner store at the gas station by my house. He was making the sandwich guy, right? And so would see him from off and on. And he was on the other side of town, but where he worked at was over there by my house. So I would see him from time to time, right? And he was never a friendly guy. So I see them on the train. We and her talking, we talking. And then they get on the train, y'all. When I tell y'all they argued, first of all, I didn't like the way he was talking to him when he was at the train. It was disrespectful, right? If you'd have been, they've been together, I know, got to be 40 years, y'all. When you've been with somebody that long, there should be a level of respect and love that can't nobody surpass, right? When they got on that train, they was talking so crazy and loud to each other, I was embarrassed for her. He was talking so crazy to her, right? Loudly. In the mornings of the commute, people are going to work, they're reading their paper, they're drinking their coffee, they're preparing for work, right? Nobody want to hear all that. Now, the time before that, I hadn't seen her in some years. I was at the clinic, and somebody said, "Hey, Jackie," and I looked over there in her direction and could not recognize her. Could not recognize her, right? And I think she might have been on a cane or something was going on with her, right? I couldn't recognize her. And I had been on her since 11 years old, right? Being with the wrong person can just tear you up and tear you down all kind of ways. Physically, mentally, spiritually. They eat at your soul, right? And I said to myself, she's been dealing with this man for 40-some years. How? How? And then right after that, when I moved, sometime during the pandemic, he got really, really sick. And I think he's still really, really sick. Hospital sick, right? And I said, God don't like ugly. Because he been treating her wrong for a lot of years, right? They got kids. Their kids is grown. And then she was telling me when we was at the rapid that it was their anniversary or something, but he always told her, this is my house. Like she didn't have no claims to the house that they lived in, right? He would say stuff like that to her. Like, the longer I'm with you, the better you should treat me. You should just overwhelm me with love. That's just how I look at it, right? I should be overwhelmed with love and adoration, right? I'm talking about, I wanted to punch him. I was so disappointed in him. I was so disgusted, not disappointed, because I heard that years ago. But you think when somebody get older, they change and evolve. But again, a lot of times black men don't do that. They want to stay right there where they at in that, right? So picking the wrong person and staying with them forever can shorten your life, as far as I'm concerned. Now, on the other hand, I know couples who do stuff together, very loving. They look good. Don't matter their age, they look good. They shining. They glowing because the glow coming from the inside, right? You gotta be careful. I'm telling y'all, that's why I've been single. It probably was a mediocre guy somewhere for me. I doubt it, I doubt it. But that's why I'm single, because I just can't. You got to be able to treat me nicely. That's free. Treat me nicely. And the moment I see that you don't care about my feelings or care about what I'm saying, which happens a lot, then I don't deal with you. Like I told you, I was dating a guy. I wasn't dating him. I'm lying. I was talking to a guy, and I said, well, all I want you to need to do is be nice. He said, I'll try. Even if you felt like that ain't what you say. People just say all kind of stuff. And then now, if I had to went ahead with if I had to went on his program, he was going to mistreat me. He was going to mistreat me. The moment I didn't do what he wanted me to do, he was going to mistreat me, right? Like I said, I pay attention to what people say, but more importantly, I pay attention to what they don't say, right? And yeah, when I meet the right person, I would bend. I would bend, I would be flexible, I would compromise. I just ain't met him, y'all. I just ain't met him. Now I'm going out tomorrow night. Maybe I'll meet him out now. I'm going to a spot where the old heads is at. Maybe I'll meet him tomorrow night, child. Maybe. I don't know. That's what my friend say. I'm going with her. That's what she said. We'll see. I am getting what you call that? Cabin fever. So, I'm gonna go and hang out a little bit, right? A lot of people is used to talking down to each other in relationships. That's so stupid. I want love. It's the way they show love to each other. It breeds disrespect. Yes, it does. That teaches young couples to behave the exact same way. Yeah, I don't, and I've been guilty of that when I was younger, saying all any kind of things. I'm gonna show you respect and talk to you respectfully, and you're gonna do the same. Now, if you make me mad, then all gloves is off. But that's how I'm going into it. I want somebody that's not gonna lie and not gonna cheat and gonna be respectful and loyal. Is that so much to ask? Is that so much to ask? Right? Matter of fact, I'm gonna try to word that in my community page as a poll. Now, let me ask y'all, maybe this one the one I do. What is a deal breaker? What's a deal breaker for y'all? Right? What if y'all meet, because everybody that has these traits are not narcissists. They may have some of the traits. That don't mean they're narcissists, right? What's the deal breaker for y'all? Like if you meet somebody, what's the absolute deal breaker? If he say this or do this, you be like, oh no, I'm sorry. What is a deal breaker? Y'all want to know what my deal breakers are? My deal breakers are if you do not vote and if you do not believe in God. Besides being married, you can't be married. But deal breakers is if you don't believe in God or Buddha or whoever, and you don't vote. If you don't vote, you're not conscious. You're not socially conscious. That means you're dumb, and I don't want no parts of you. If you don't believe in God, that's self-explanatory. I can run far away from you, right? Those are my deal breakers. What are y'all deal breakers? Y'all have any? Let me tell y'all what they say. How to recognize when gaslighting is happening, in case you don't know. Gaslighting, let me put my glasses on. Gaslighting is a psychological, manipulative tactic to get a person or group of people to doubt their reality and memory. That's simply said. That is simply said. Gaslighting is a psychological, manipulative tactic to get a person or group of people to doubt their reality and memory. You know how hard it has to be? I wonder how hard it has to be to manipulate somebody, to be thinking of all these things all the time. Like, that's got to be hard on your brain. And you know what? Now that I said that, my ex has a brain tumor. It's small and it's growing small. It's growing small, right? And it's still small. But he has a brain tumor. And I took him to the doctor because he said his head felt funny, right? But, that's got to be hard to think of ways to manipulate and make somebody think this and make them think that and make them do this. That got to be difficult. That's too much pressure on the brain. That's too much pressure. That's too much pressure. So that shows you they crazy right there, because that's too much pressure. It comes from the play Gaslight. Like, I knew that. In which a husband repeatedly changes and alters the home environment and denies doing it. So when questioned by his wife about the changes, he repeatedly informs her that she is remembering things wrong. Oh, that's evil. Incorrectly and denying her reality. Although he is intentionally changing their environment, here's where the term comes in. He dims the gas lights in their home. Okay, this is how it started, y'all. This is where the term comes from. This movie. He dims the gas lights in their home while also doing things like making noises around the house. And when confronted by his wife about the noises and change in lighting, he continues to state that the lighting is the same and that he hasn't heard a thing. Sowing seeds of doubt in her perception and reality. Oh, that's so mean. That is so mean. Why would you play a trick like that on your wife? That is so mean. Jesus Christ. That is horrible. That is horrible. Not financially stable and not loyal, my deal breakers. Yeah, not financially stable. That's a good one. That's a good one. I didn't forget to add that one. Yeah, that's a good one. And not loyal. Another good one. Yeah, another good one. Not loyal. But see, a lot of times, y'all, we don't know who they are until a little bit down the road, right? That's why I think, we talked about this, I don't know if that was in the members, about having sex too soon. Even though you vibing and all that, what everybody say. But I think, for me, I think it's important to not, because you don't know who they is. And then you gave up on yourself, and this person ain't worthy of you. That's just how I think. Now, if you just want to bust a nut, and that's it, okay, cool. But I think if you think this is the person you're going to build with and bond with, that it should be a moment. That's just what I think. I think it should be a moment. Yeah, that's what I think. That was mean. Another way to know when gaslighting is happening, they want you to recognize the symptoms. When a person is constantly being gaslit, they start to show signs, I knew this, of lowered self-esteem and emotional dependence on the abuser. I'm telling you, I would tell my ex all the time, unless a woman, you lower her self-esteem, you break her. Lower self-esteem and emotional dependence. During a conflict where someone is gaslighting you, you may experience a range of emotions from confusion and anger to frustration and finding yourself going in argumentative circles, both out loud and in your mind. That is exactly right. That is exactly right. This type of back and forth is exhausting and can affect your self-trust. That is exactly right. That chaos. Broke, drinking too much, and vile language in this conversation. Unkept, not loyal, too serious, don't value family. These are some of my deal breakers. And that's a lot. Your deal breakers are your deal breakers. I mean, I have a list of them too, but my absolutes. Before we even, these are the questions I ask before we even go further. Is do you believe in God? Do you vote? When I first meet somebody, I ask them that. So we ain't even got to, we might not have to go down the road because you don't believe in God and you don't vote, right? So that's for me. Like if you're not socially conscious as a black man, and if you my age, you know better, right? So if you intend on not being socially conscious, you ain't the guy. You definitely ain't the guy. Because I'm pro-black, right? And I believe in all of our causes, little or small. Yeah. Yeah, your previous, I read it about broke, drinking, and too much. That's not a lot. Those are your, India says, I don't believe in having sex too fast. You have to check all the boxes. That's correct. Yeah, yeah. I don't want to do that. And I don't know what's the appropriate time, but I know not right away. I know that, right? Number two is stand firm in your truth. Stand firm in your truth, right? You got to stand in it, and that's where the conflict comes in at, because they want to verbally know that you believe what they're saying. They want to verbally, they want to know, they want you to say it. They want you to switch your thoughts. They want to know that you're switching them. Further up. I don't know what you say. Just say it again. About arrested development. I'm going back to where my younger self was lost and bring her home. My spirit has been telling me to do it for years. It's a sensitive situation. How do you do that? How do you go back to your younger self? How do you do that? Tell me that, cause I need to go get my younger self. How you do that? But my therapist was saying that. But my friend had told me that first. And I believe she had been going to therapy and just didn't mention to me, because the stuff she was saying is the stuff that my therapist was saying. And I know she had to get that from a therapist. But yeah, how do you go to your younger self? How do you do that? How do you do that? That's what I like to know. Because in my mind, I've been the type of person being married too soon. Well, I'm the type of person like if it happened, because I guess because I'm passive aggressive. So if it happened, it happened. Ain't nothing I can do about it and move on. That's me, right? But I'm learning now that you have to talk about, and people want to talk about certain things. They want to talk about it. Me, on the other hand, I'm like, shit, it happened. It happened. Let's move forward. If we can't move forward, fuck it. But people want to talk. People want to talk. Okay, so they say to stand firm in your truth. That means believing in yourself, which is number one goal for everyone, narcissists around them or not. Believe in you, your feelings, and what you know to be true. It means owning your perception. Owning your perception. I like that. What you saw, what you heard, what you felt. I like that. Got to stand firm in that. Now they say another way to combat it is write things down to help you ground yourself in your own truth. Keep a record of what is happening. I didn't do that, but it says a journal is a great way to maintain a record of what is happening over time. This will help you feel confident about what you know to be true. Okay. That's what the experts say. That's what the experts say. It says keep the conversation simple, right? Know your purpose when entering the conversation. Again, this is again for me. These people got to be rational, and for the most part, they're not. So you can know what you're gonna say and be prepared, and you're gonna speak your truths and tell the conversation, and they gonna sit there and look at you like you're crazy, right? Now let's see what they say. A person who is gaslighting when you do this will blatantly lie. That is true. Shift the narrative and will minimize how you feel. Entering the conversation knowing your purpose will help you remain centered on a path versus being veered in a different direction that a gaslight person wants. So I guess they say do that so you be centered when they start telling them lies and trying to trick your mind. Be willing to leave. Now this is where I'm at. Be willing to leave the conversation. That's step 5. The person doing the gaslighting may also use tactics such as deflecting and minimizing. In these instances, it's important to practice self-validation and recognize when the conversation is feeling circular and unfair. Give yourself permission to leave the conversation when you start to recognize signs of your reality being denied and minimized. That's where I'm at. Just leave it. That's where I got to. Like, we're not even getting ready to conversate. We're not getting ready to do nothing. But that's stupid and self-destructive when you're in the house with that person. But that's where I was at for a long period of time. We ain't even getting ready to talk. We ain't ready to talk. What we talking for? Right? You're going to lie. You're going to try to confuse me. And that's that. I'm going to find a therapist that will do that type of healing. Okay. Yeah. That's good. I think now that I'm older, I think therapy is probably necessary for everybody in some form or fashion. I think healing is necessary for everybody. Yeah, that's what I think. That the healing is necessary. Now it says don't worry about trying to outsmart the gaslighter. Well, I wanted to outsmart him, and I think I did. Don't worry about outsmart. Let me read what they say here. Let me see. The best way to outsmart. Okay, that's right. It says the best way to outsmart a gaslighter is to disengage, which is what I did. You can show up in the discussion with a mountain of evidence, videos, recordings, and more. And a gaslighting person will still find a way to deflect, minimize, or deny. It is more worth to walk away from that and your perception intact. That's what I've been saying. Just walk away. Just don't engage at all because they're gonna lie. So they're more steadfast in their lies, right? Narcissists and they're more steadfast in their lies. They're gonna stand with it. They're gonna die with the lie, right? They're gonna die with the lie. It's a losing battle. It's a losing battle because they're going to die with the lie. Period. Right? Ain't nothing you can say. You can have all the evidence like they said because I did all that. That's why I know you can have the evidence. You can say, "Look, I hear you go right here. I see you," and he's still gonna tell a lie. I heard what you said. You said this. We was right there this day, this time, this. So that's when I learned. I'm so proud of myself because as I do more reading and research, I realized I did the shit the right way. I just took too long to do it. But I did what I should have did. And again, I'm gonna say that's because I was spiritually led, because I gave that thing to God, right? That whole situation. And I kept praying and praying and praying about it, And it's good to know the more I do, the more I read about it, the more I learn. And God, the Holy Spirit leading me out of that situation. Pretty much unscathed, except for the harsh memories. Right? The harsh memories. Now this is what I always want to know, because I want to know if gaslighting is subconscious or what. Do gaslighters know they're gaslighting? Gaslighting lies on a spectrum. Some gaslighters don't know they're gaslighting and are largely unaware of how their behavior is affecting the other person. But some gaslighters are very well aware of what they're doing, and it is done with intention and without remorse. Should the person engage in additional behaviors that fall under the narcissistic spectrum, then the likelihood of them intentionally gaslighting you is much greater. So, like I said, there are some people that gaslight don't know. Some people because they just liars or whatever they is, or they just not truth tellers, right? But but it happens when you're in love. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 Uh yeah, it does. Wow. Wow. They're intentional. It's intentional. Again, so for you to think, how can I fuck her up today? What I'm gonna say today to mess her mind up? Like, you gotta be sick to go around and think like that. Especially when you call yourself in a relationship. Relationship should be about love. At least right? That's deep, y'all. They intentional. But like I said, when I was reading something, this was last year before, when I found a couple years back when I first realized about narcissism, and they had the spectrum. They was showing it. It was a graph, right? And it was all the information. And I'm telling you, when I looked at it, my ex was on the big end of the spectrum. Not the little end, not the baby end, not the beginner end of narcissism. He was he was the head of the narcissist. He was the king of them, right? I was like, damn, Jackie, God had you. God had you. He had me, right? Because that could have been real, real ugly. Could have been real, real ugly. Wow. So anyway, y'all, before I go, what y'all want me to talk about tonight? What topics we got? Ain't too much going on in the celebrity world. I could talk about something, but because I'm really interested in this politics and this Trump, but I don't know if that'll hold anybody's attention. But what they're doing with the migrants, the money they passing out, and all of that. And I don't want to come off as I don't care about humanity, but we got enough humans that's already here. You can shit me. I'm one of them, right? So, what y'all want to discuss tonight? Y'all tell me what y'all want to talk about tonight, because I can get, I want to get political, but I don't know. But I do want to. I don't want a good topic for later. That's a good topic for later. Yeah, I want to get political, because we got to vote, y'all. That's real important to me. I just told y'all that was a deal breaker for me. So I'm not well versed in all of the political goings-ons and actions and who do this and who do that and this, that, and that, and that. But, I read up on it. I'm into politics too, Jack, especially Palestine and Trump. So, Kay, I've been trying to understand that, right? It's Palestine and it's Palestine and who are the other people? Refresh me. Palestine, what's the other people called, right? I've been trying to understand that situation. Now, I remember when I was younger, it was fighting over the Gaza Strip, and that's the land. They still fighting over the same thing, right? I know Monique on Club Shay Shay tonight, and I hope, what time she come on? I hope, see, I go, my live is at 8, right? That's probably when he gonna interview her at 8. I wonder what time. I hope it be at 6 and we can discuss it. Because I'm telling y'all what Monique gonna do. Monique gonna come out the gate with a whole bunch of bullshit. I like Monique, but I just think she gonna try to crash the internet. I'm trying to tell you, she gonna try to crash the internet, right? Yeah, Kay, I need to understand now. Oh, at noon. Oh, I need to watch that now. Now noon. Okay, we'll talk about that tonight for sure. Watch Born in Gaza on Netflix. Okay, I sure will. I don't want to watch that. I sure will. Born in Gaza. Let me write that down. Because I'm trying to understand. And then who's, I don't know who's right and who's wrong. But I know it's a lot of unaliving going on over there. A lot. Matter of fact, CNN used to run at my job in the break room. CNN used to run on one of the TVs, right? They would have CNN on one, sports on one, and something else on the other one, right? They stopped showing. They turned the channel from CNN. So I would go in there every day and keep up, but they I guess it got too graphic, so they stopped showing CNN. She could give us something to talk about. Yeah, she gonna give us something to talk about, baby. Oh yeah, I'm about to watch that right now. After I do my short, she gonna give us something to talk about for sure. Matter of fact, I think I'm gonna watch that. I'm about to watch that now. It's on live right now. Okay, y'all, we gonna dismiss. so we can watch Club Shay Shay. Wait, I said I was gonna write something down. Netflix. What was it called? What is it? I just saw it. Born in Gaza. Born in Gaza on Netflix. Thanks for that, Kay. I want to say to y'all, 12 people in here, I really, really appreciate y'all supporting me. Because this ain't easy, right? And it takes a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of tough skinness, right? So I appreciate y'all. I want y'all to know that. It speaks about the war between Palestine and Israel. That I couldn't think. Why couldn't I think of Israel? That's what it was. Palestine and Israel. So that my question, Kay, is whose side should we be on as the United States? Because I see a lot of people saying Palestine. I don't know, and that's why I'm asking because I do not know, right? Because I don't. I remember years ago they was fighting. They always been fighting over it, right? Okay, Queen. Whose side should we be on, Kay? What should we be advocating for? Who should? Because they had stopped. They had shut down the Brooklyn Bridge a few weeks ago. They shut that down in protest of that. I believe in human rights, God, racism, right? So, where do we stand on that? Like, what do we do? You welcome India. See you tonight. You've always been on Israel's side. I see. I don't know. I'm going to watch that, Kate. Thank you for enlightening me, because I'm always been confused about that. Always been confused about that. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to make me something to eat. I'm going to make me some Swedish turkey meatballs and noodles. They're saying free Palestine. That's what I always see. I always see that. You know what I'm saying? And where does the United States stand with that? That's more so what I need to know. I've got to watch Roland Martin and see what he got to say about it. That's usually how I figure out what's right and what's wrong. Okay, and watch the documentary. Gotcha. I'm going to watch that today. I'm getting ready to watch Shay Shay, and then I'm going to watch the documentary. Thanks, guys. Love you guys. See you all tonight at 8.